Hi everyone. Before we start, I just want to say thank you. The last video received a lot of meaningful and thoughtful feedback. And honestly, your views, your likes, and your comments are my biggest motivation to keep making these videos. Alright, let's get into today's topic. Recently, on the Chinese social media, there is a really popular concept people call the kill line. It's usually used to describe Americans. The idea that once someone crosses a certain financial threshold, they are basically done. Lose your job, miss a few paychecks, or get sick. You will fall below the line and your life just collapses. For American audience, a more familiar way to rephrase this would be living paycheck to paycheck. It sounds extreme, and honestly, that's part of why it surprised so well. The kill line narrative is so powerful because it offers emotional payoff. It turns a very complicated society into a simple moral story. They choose the system, so they deserve the suffering. Watching that imagined collapse gave people a sense of relief, even satisfaction. But emotionally satisfying stories are not the same thing as 100% reality. And when you actually look closer, the argument doesn't really hold up. As we all know, yes, the US is not a welfare state like many European countries. It's a harsh, market-driven society with higher risk and weaker safety nets. But that doesn't mean people just drop dead once they cross some invisible line. A lot of this argument assumes society works like a cliff. One step too far and you're gone. The most common proof people always point to is homelessness. So let's talk about that. So far, it is said that the US has roughly 700 to 800,000 unhoused people, about 0.2% of the population. The number is serious, but what often gets ignored is who makes up this group. More than half of them suffer from severe mental illness, substance addiction, or both. This means the homelessness in the US is usually not caused by one missed paycheck. Most cities do provide food assistance and emergency shelters, but many long-term unhoused people either cannot use them because of the mental health issues or actively refuse them because the shelters usually come with rules, structures, or restrictions that they don't want to follow. So the people you see on the street are not ordinary people who crossed the kill line. They are a much smaller, much more complex population. I also want to share something personal. A friend has volunteered for many years at food banks and homeless shelters. He told me something very blunt. If someone is not addicted to drugs and doesn't have any severe untreated mental illness, the probability of dying on the street is basically zero. So at the end of the day, the so-called kill line or living paycheck to paycheck is kind of like an emotional placebo. It's imagining other people's misfortune to make yourself feel better. It's kind of like a traveling circus coming to town. When someone exposes the tricks, the audience gets upset, crying and yelling, "Hey, that's real, cannot do this." And if you really want some comfort through comparison, don't compare yourself to some faraway strangers. Just compare today's you to yesterday's you. That's the only comparison that actually matters. That's it.